here in the studio on the program The Voice, and they're sensitizing us on the sanitization going on at Ishi Gate as regards both the traders, the potholes, the keke riders, the bus drivers, and how the government is working hard to make sure that everything is well put together, that the city, the state capital, is going to look like a state capital. And like he did mention, it has not been an easy job to do. It needs a whole lot of aggression, and also a whole lot of determination, because sometimes when you're trying to do this kind of thing, some persons will hate. Some persons are really going to see you like you're hurting so much. I know what the experience was like when the market issue gate was moved to Pani the first time. I knew what the laments were like and all that. But eventually, with time, the whole thing has calmed down a bit. So we are expecting that this whole thing is still going to, by the time we start seeing the benefit based on what you have said, we'll be able to appreciate the fact that it happened. Okay, and still on the sanitization that we were talking about, you made mention of the fact that Honorable Apugo is doing a good job on waste management, okay, in the town. And I could recall the place where they used to drop bin along
Health Center Road.
Yes, Health Center Road. It has been cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I said that thing was causing nuisance there. But since it was cleared, I was like, oh, we even have a full road.
Yeah.
Instead of cars struggling on a single lane, now it's all cleared up. And then but I would like to know, some time ago, I used to see this mobile refuse truck go around to pick refuse. Is it still on?
Yeah, it's still on. It's still on. They are doing their job. You know, people doesn't like to obey the law. They don't like to, bring out the refuse during the time the truck is now going on. They like to, towards evening, around 8, 9, by that time work have closed. You will see them going with those refuse and drop it anywhere they feel they can drop it. Before you know it, 1, 2, 3, and that place has been clustered with refuse dump. But the ASEPA is doing their job, going from one street to another to make sure they quarantine with the people of Abia State. But you see them, they won't bring out the refuse. They will leave it as soon as they around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you will see them. So, and I think we're supposed to put enforcement on that towards evening period time. People would not like to go and drop their refuse dump in the daytime. As soon as it's 9 o'clock, you will see them, loitering without the refuse dump. It's very, very bad to the city.
Okay, what about people that go to work? Like, in the morning, some persons who go to work 8 o'clock, they're already out to go to their jobs. Okay, what time does the truck come by? Because if the truck comes after they have gone, it will be difficult for them to drop it when the truck can pick it. Or is there supposed to be some speculated places where you can come out and drop it on the road so that as the truck is passing in to pick it?
If you are going to work, you know that you have a refuse. You're supposed to bring it out in front of your house and keep it. As soon as the truck is going on, you will see the people working with the truck who will just pick the refuse inside the truck. Okay. That is how it's supposed to be. As a civil servant.
Yes, that's what I was asking.
That is how it's supposed to be.
Okay, so if they drop it in front of their houses, the people can
exactly.
Okay.
You can see that by like now, if you watch how people are parking within that TC gate, it's not good. It's not ideal, to my best of my knowledge. And I think by the special grace of God, as time goes on, you're going to see that Okwulehie North is going to have a place within that place and beautify it very well and make sure that you can park your vehicle. After you now do your normal business, you come out, start your vehicle and leave. We call it park and pay. And we are going to do that soon. Because if you can go to that TC gate, you see people parking along the road, it's not good. By the time the keke people will hit the car, you will see another problem will come. They go to police, they go to that. But I'm trying to I and my chairman, to have a modalities where we are going to make this park and pay. You can now park your car within that TC gate. That's why we remove. If you go there now, you see the refuse dump in front of the Master Energy's office has been removed. It's not there again. Okay. You go there now, you see, we have removed that refuse dump towards Abam Street. You can go there and drop your refuse. And we are going to use that place as a park and pay and beautify it. You see, this is a state capital. No how will avoid this place. We cannot avoid it. We will have to implement on that to make Okwulehie sanity. That is the most important thing as a state capital. If you are coming in here, you'll be happy. This is a state capital. If you are telling people what to do, you will see them because of their, I can't say stupidity, because of their lawless. They behave anyhow they behave. Anyway, they feel they can go. They behave the way they want to behave. But to my best of my knowledge, I think after the swearing in of the governor, because we have the victory, we will see a lot of work commence within that Okwulehie and this gate. We will see how it's going to be. And I know KZ Bazo is not somebody that can say something without doing that. That's why we vote him there, because he's a man of a policy, he's a man of a rule of law. He believes to handle people with care. He doesn't believe in violence. That's why whenever time he calls me to say, handle people with care. Don't make them to feel bad. Talk sense to them. Let them know how it's supposed to be as the state capital. That is what we are doing right now. To talk sense to them. For them not to be a lawless people. For them to quarantine with the state government policy.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I can recall also that some of the refuse dumped, like along this Golden Guinea.
Yeah.
Just along it, some of the refuse dumped there are usually not dumped by the sane people. There's just a number of mad people, the insane ones, who, you know, they go to these refuse dumps, they pick things, and then they go to places where maybe they have decided to carve out a corner for themselves, and they dump these things there and make a home there. Also opposite High Court, there's another point where a madman drops things. I think I've seen him as Ishigate. He packs things and he will drop them there. Is there any way, you know, when we're trying to keep the whole place clean and we're telling the sane people what to do to keep the place clean, and possibly they are doing it, if we don't remove the insane ones, possibly put them in a place where they are being taken care of, the place will still be messed up. So is there any plan of the government to, you know, remove these mad people? Because there's so many of them right now on the roads.
They are mad. They are nothing like mad people. They are okay.
Okay.
They are not mad people. They know what they're doing because of the refuse dump they normally, you know, be with. Whenever they held the order of that place, made them to look like crazy people.
Okay.
But they are okay. That is a bottle of a can bottle, like Asara, Coke, or no, the rest of them. They sell it off. Because
okay, no, I'm not talking of those ones that pick up containers to sell.
Yeah.
I'm talking of the real insane ones who possibly don't even wear clothes.
Okay, the mad ones.
Yes, the real mad ones.
What the state government is supposed to do is, as time goes on, they, you know, all these mad people go to where and now they'll pack them and drop them after anymore. They will now walk down to Okwulehie and start misbehaving and, you know, polluting the city. It's madness. What we're going to do is to make sure that we synchronize with the government, to make sure that we pack them too and shift them. You pack them and shift them.
Shift them to where?
Any place you shift them, they continue their business from there. That is how other states are doing. If you go to Enugu will pack them and drop them at Ishiago. They will now trek from Ishiago. If you go to Calabar will pack mad people and drop them towards Ariam.
Okay, but sir, I thought we have homes where mad people are taken care of.
I'm not the one. It's not my responsibility to know where to take them because they came from family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying now.
It's to shift them from Okwulehie completely.
Yeah, but there are homes in Abia State. I think there is one at Itumbos or so where mad people are taken care of. Is it not better to move them to that place since there are people to take care of them there and, you know, possibly give them food to eat and they are being taken care of, they are away from the town, than just to move them to some other place?
If the other states, they move them to Abia, if they have a place to go and take care of them, they should move them there, not to come and drop them in Okwulehie here.
Okay.
I don't know whether you're getting what I'm saying.
That stays up two questions.
Yeah.
Number one is, how are we even certain they were moved from other states?
You will see somebody you have never seen before here. Surprisingly, you see him. How come about that?
Because we don't know everybody.
How can you know everybody? That's what I'm telling you.
So they could still be citizens of this state.
They are citizens of Nigeria. No, they are citizens of Nigeria.
Okay, not Abia State.
Not Abia State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but then if your other states, like you said, like you alleged now that other states are moving out of their state and moving out somewhere and then they trek from there.
Yeah.
If they're doing it, should we also copy it?
No, don't copy it. Rather, we'll put policemen there. All those checking points, they are dropping them. Any state who try to come and do that, you arrest that person.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you arrest them because you could see somebody now, surprisingly, you see somebody with his iron, a madman, chasing people away from this Umuahia metropolis. Well, it's not supposed to be like that. Where did they come from? You have never seen them before. Surprisingly, you see them, and you can't do otherwise. And you will continue handling them with care. But what I'm trying to tell, or the state government to do, to put up a security agency within those checking points, they are dropping them. Any state that drop, you arrest that person and charge him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that would be a lot better than this other option.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a caller. Let's get to take this call. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to Deputy Chairman.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, please, where the area I want to touch is that if you get the kind of go slow that used to be there, they are reducing now. I can you for that. Then the pothole that is around that place is not a healthy matter. Also, talking about the cleanliness, cleanliness is next to the godliness.
Exactly.
Because once the market people are still there, there will be nothing like cleanliness there.
Yes.
Those people that are making like if they are sick, they can never clean the environment.
Exactly.
Take them away to go to Urbana.
Thank you, brother.
That's only the way before that place will be clean.
Thank you.
Otherwise, man, that can be clean.
Exactly.
Even along Umuahia Road to the gate.
Yes.
Everywhere, dustbin. When they get some, they go and dump in there, including the mad people there. You don't know the people that are mad and the people that are their head are correct. Although they are not mad anyway, likely as you said.
Yeah.
But most of them are being used for something.
Exactly.
If you get them, torture them, tell you the truth.
Okay.
So they are not mad. So leading to the government to see whether they can move all of them to Urbana market.
Yes.
So they can reach others there. Then this gate will be clean. And the glory will be to God.
Yeah.
I thank the state government that are trying their efforts to make sure that everywhere is safe. So thank you and God bless you.
And you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. Okay, and then if you're just joining us, you're welcome. We're gradually bringing things down. And just as I said earlier, we have Okwulehie, the Deputy Chairman, Umuahia North Local Government, talking about sanitizing Ishi Gate as the state capital. And let's get to take this call too.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Chimdi. How are you?
Very well. Good morning to you, Reverend.
Yes. Eze Mama.
Mama, one name.
Ndokunume.
Ngwalolo.
Ọ bụrụ na m gara meeting na station ngo aga m ezigbo otu ekpe m.
Ezela m yazi.
Ife mere n'Ishi Gate is very wonderful.
Thank you.
Biko ana m arịọ gị ka emetụkwuo mmụọ.
Yes, sir.
Ọ dị ka otu i kwuru ugbu a n'otu unu nọ Easter break wafụtachakwa n'ọdọ.
Exactly.
So any inwe some kind of task force that is there, and task force again with there. Abu Umuaka Laga Naha 100 naira, 50 naira.
Exactly.
People who, because you know, finding like some strange measures sometimes.
Yes.
Well, I like to use it to muzzle. Can make sure, because for the first time in 2011, I returned to Abia State. I was able to drive through that place within a second.
Yeah.
Because then Nishirelo there, Obulongo Kagi with something concrete, but then warrior because I tell when the railway, if you look at the until that time comes, because only could like the roundabout or what the possible, it's a roundabout. You have to beautify a little bit because that place is very, very important. Then again, we should look at a long-term plan or long-term solution. There's supposed to be a flyover from Opera Square through to Aba Road, that Bend the Road, meeting that clock at Bend the Road. There should actually be proper town planning arrangement where the bridge will fly over the railway and drop at Bend the Road. This one go to Aba Road. This one goes back to Umuahia. Then I went Okuru Bridge and all that. That's the best place to beautify Umuahia.
Yes.
Because that's the best place to beautify Umuahia. Because and the location of the car park, people are very, very important because motors in dollar park locals are there. And that place is very, very small. And let us plan to begin to hurt people. Because if we don't hurt people, we will not cause development to happen.
Yes.
We need to dualize Aba Road, the chop price. Any dualize that. This is the only major road. Esitelo Bakala Junction, I dualize there to Yakusla that chop price junction. Because
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Okay, and then my last question for this morning, unless you decide to call, the phone numbers are still the same, 0808 182 6949 or 08116 052949. My last question for you, sir, is the sanitization that is going on at Ishigate now. Is that the reason why keke riders were told to stop at 7?
No. Whenever government come up with a policy, because keke people is a good ones in Abia State, but what they are using that keke to do, is something else. You will see a keke man will stop in front of your house. You thought as much that is waiting for passenger. Before you know it, you will see somebody will just come out from that place and give you a very serious injury. They will leave. And when they leave, you will now find out it's a keke they used to come and attack you. That's why the government now come up with this policy and say as soon as it's 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, let keke stop. But government is going to bring cars, big bus like Lagos State to make sure towards evening period you will see all those big buses, and individuals are entitled to also do the same business all well, because government have a lot of things doing. And I know that as a businessman, you can, purchase your vehicle, big ones, and now try to help and assist the government too, because the government is a continuous process and a gradual process too. I have a boss too who applied towards evening coaster bus, because the coaster is applying Aba, but I know that we need cars. As soon as they have stopped these keke riders, I say no, stop going to Aba, and they have to be doing this job within my environment, and the driver is doing that. That is what we are appealing the government, to help to bring the bus. But as an individual, if you know that you're a businessman, you want to do that business too, you are entitled to, purchase a big bus and help the state government too to implement on that. KK people are turning to something else. Government came up with a policy and said that they should stop putting trampoline some time ago. People was trying to lament. Why? For you to know exactly who is inside the keke. And you will see they will just cover that trampoline and carry a lot of arms there. You'll be surprised. When they open that trampoline, you see that is not keke again. And that keke, when you talk about keke can turn anywhere. You'll be surprised. You see keke will turn in front of you there. And another one, you will see keke people, they will put up a protector after the people have already built the keke to be good. You will see them put iron by the side, front, back, left and right. And what are they looking? They are looking for trouble for the people that using vehicle. You will see a keke man will jam your car. You say, why? Before you know it, roll down, start begging you. You will see it as a keke man and leave him. But you have damaged something that you're going to take a lot of money to go and repair.
Fix, yes.
Yeah, but what I want them to do is to synchronize and work with the state government, whatever policy have come, and say, stop by 7. Stop that. All the whole security agencies are aware. If they see you after 7, they will help you. You know where you're going. If you're doing your work, most of the keke normally comes from Obo.
Okay.
Some from Akwa Ibom.
Okay.
Some interstate. They will see them in the morning. They will fuel their keke and here. So you can't even say you are operating in this Omaya. So why the government do so is for you to close and go to your place earlier.
Okay.
As a keke man, you have to do your work from morning till 7. You have to close and go to your work.
Those buses you said will be plying, are they going to be more like, a keke, possibly a drop is just about 15 naira?
Yeah, 15 naira altogether.
The buses, are they still going to be taking about 15 naira?
Yes. If 15 naira now. If your bus will carry more than 40 people, 30 something inside. It's not a small thing now.
Okay, because I know I have taken a taxi before to where I live. Usually Keke would take 15 naira, but the taxi was taking 100.
No,
In the night.
no.
I have boarded one.
As I'm telling you, see, you know why people are now trying to put money into keke or transportation? Because most of them, they used to, do their business on high purchase.
Okay.
So, as a man, if you are doing that business in a high purchase, somebody will give you boss at the rate of 1.8 million. They will try to,
So hustle fast
and put more money to make sure they pay for the. But if you buy a boss, the normal way is supposed to be, being you adding money, will be touched when you know that you are somehow tight, being a tight corner, high purchase, 1.8 million. If you can put 200 naira to make sure you pay the money, you put 200 naira. But the people who are suffering is the masses.
Yes.
The masses are suffering. So most of the people are doing this business in Omaya are very, 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 in a high side to the people doing that business. Because you can't tell me that as a human being you want to buy keke or you want to buy bus. Somebody will tell you to come and pay 1.8 million. How are you going to try to pay that at the end of the day?
Okay. So, is there any provision like a regulatory body that should make sure that the buses or the taxis don't charge more than they're supposed to charge, so that the masses can still afford them?
If you watch those ones who charge higherly, they don't come to park and load.
Okay.
They do what they call akalelu. And the people prefer to enter that akalelu than to enter to park and and enter. But if you go to park, they are unionists. They know the business very well. They know how to regulate the transportation in the higher side. And people don't want to come into the park and enter motor. They prefer to stay on the road and enter akalelu. And most of the ones you see, they looted, or to armed, because you don't go to the park and enter bus. You see a car, enter that one. You cannot predict where the person come from.
Yes.
But let's assume that you enter inside the park and load, and they know the number of the vehicle that load, and they know how the person move. If anything eventually happened, they will know the number of the vehicle.
And they will know who to hold.
Yes, that kind of thing. They will know the number of the vehicle and say, look at the boss, 0121, Kelechi was the driver of this. But if you see somebody, because they're in a haste, they want to leave, they stay outside. When the person you say, Umudike, you enter without knowing where the person is coming from.
Okay, and that will even cause more harm than good.
Telling you.
Exposing us to danger. So,
exactly.
Which means we're actually encouraging people to get to the parks and load for their own safety.
Yes.
All right, and I must say a very big thank you, Okwulehie, for coming around. Deputy Chairman Umuahed North Local Government, thank you for coming around to answer our questions.
Yeah,
glad to have you. I hope when we invite you again, you will come.
Why? I will come now. I'm here to serve my people.
Thank you so much. And then if you just joined us, we talked about the sanitization going on in Ishi Gate right now, the traders, the keke, the waste management and everything. He has talked about the fact that very soon street lights will start up again, and Abroma would fill up the potholes, and of course there will be perishable markets in less than 3 or 4 months time. You see it there, and hopefully police posts will also be there.
Yes.
And he also mentioned the fact that we might be having mobile court for offenders. So you will not say that you were not told. You are being told now. You are being told now. And ignorance is not an excuse. Let's meet again next Saturday on The Voice. But up next is going to be our game time at 10 o'clock. Stay right there.
Okay, there.